News just coming in. Sri Lanka's economic and political crisis worsens. All schools closed till July 15. Sri Lanka has temporarily shut down at least 4 state universities due to the collapsing economy. That's the latest piece of information that's coming in right now. Schools have been shut down till July 15. Sri Lanka has also temporarily shut down at least 4 state universities due to the collapsing economy. So the ripple effects of the growing crisis and turmoil in the island nation of Sri Lanka now being felt across sectors. Schools being shut down, universities being shut down as well. Foreign Affairs Editor Geeta Mohan is live with us right now. Geeta, take us through details of how Sri Lanka is, of course, grappling with this crisis now. What we're hearing is that schools have been shut down till July 15 and 4 state universities also shut down.
Well, it's absolutely unfortunate, Pauline, because at the end of the day, this crisis will have a massive impact on students, on the youth, the younger generation of Sri Lanka that has already suffered and suffering for a very long time because and owing to COVID-19. Also, the financial crisis that Sri Lanka suffers, Pauline, is because it is an island nation that relies heavily on tourism. The past 3 years have been rather difficult, and every time they've been in debt, they've been able to recover or manage finances only because most of the revenues used to come through tourism. But because of COVID, that certainly did not happen, and is the reason why the country went through such a huge debt crisis and such a huge financial crisis. Having said that, yes, things are looking pretty bad, and it seems like it is going to remain that way for some time to come. Although Ranil Wickremesinghe is trying very hard, we see every day, unlike any prime minister in the past, one, it is unprecedented that a country is facing such a crisis. But unlike any prime minister in the past, Pauline, he has been regularly updating the people of his country, citizens of his country on Twitter. He took to Twitter after taking over as prime minister. And then started explaining exactly what the state of affairs is, where do they stand in terms of the finances, the treasury, and how he's trying to revive the countries he's spoken to, the ministries that are engaging certain quarters, the embassies that he's been engaging, the amount of money that they have, how long will it last. He did all of that. Unfortunately, at the end of the day, a country has to show some fiscal strength for organizations, international borrowing agencies such as the IMF, to really give credence to the demand or request for credit. They have had credit from IMF in the past. They have defaulted on their international loans, and it's the reason why today most of the agencies are not willing to pay heed to the calls by Sri Lankan leadership. They are looking at countries now and are reaching out to rescue the country via bilateral cooperation from country to country. So they've done that with India. India did send a lot of aid, but the latest on fuel shortage, India has made clear that advance payments would have to be made. Sri Lanka does not have the wherewithal. China has been absolutely conspicuous with its absence, Pauline. They did send or engage Sri Lanka, and interestingly, at the beginning of the crisis, when everything was put on hold, the East Container Terminal, of which China had become an important part, work continued there. Work continued at the ports where China's infrastructural projects were going on. We do not really know whether they still continue or not, but that spoke volumes of China's focus, that it's a strategic space and asset for them, but needn't intervene if they're in trouble. And finally, Russia. So Sri Lanka is looking at Russia in terms of a bilateral agreement, so to say, between the two countries, so that they can at least tide over the fuel crisis that the country is facing. The country, in many ways than one, has come to a standstill. It has come to a jolting halt, Pauline, with nowhere, the economy not running because nobody has the fuel to run the economy. You need fuel to even take supplies from one place to the other. So food prices have gone up. Inflation is at its peak. There is no fuel, and that's the reason why we see the kind of protests that the country is witnessing. For now, we are given to understand that Gotabaya Rajapaksa, who left his presidential residence, is his whereabouts not known, but there was a convoy that left the Colombo airport. Now, we do not really know where the convoy was headed, who was a part of that convoy, whether if it was President Rajapaksa himself, if he's going to another part of Sri Lanka or has left Sri Lanka completely. The only message that we have from the president is that he will agree to and comply with anything, any decision taken by the party at the party meet. Now, again, another information that has come in is about the meeting held by Premadasa. We again will have to wait and see what the entire body is going to say. For now, it seems like it's inevitable that Rajapaksas would be absolutely out of the political spectrum and the political scene in Sri Lanka. But Sri Lanka needs to be out of the financial crisis that it is facing and will continue to face for some time to come.